Alright everyone, welcome to the Mega X2 tournament. Today we have Darko against LuizMiguel.
Oh boy, it's gonna be a good one, isn't it? Oh, I just remember Darko actually does. Is he still doing Shoryulis for the for the tournament races?
I have no idea. I didn't keep up with all the races, but maybe. I don't know. That would be interesting.
I sincerely hope he is. I want to see him win it, doing that. That would be amazing.
It sure will, but I guess LuizMiguel, I'm not sure you have that much of a gauge to go with it.
Yeah, that's a bit of a rough one. Oh jeez, so it breathes in a hair. Oh god.
Too much excitement for the race.
That was horrifying.
So have you seen any of these two matches so far, or this is the first one you're gonna get?
I've seen one of Darko's before. I don't remember who he went against, but I do know he did Shoryulis. He did win. I cannot remember who he went against. Pretty sure Luis has gotten 33s in pretty much every race he's been in, if I'm remembering right. He's been horrifyingly consistent with this.
Yeah, he's known for that, for sure. Pretty consistent at most of the X game on the SNES, so that would be interesting to see a Shurikenless against the beast of consistency.
About to ready up and get going.
I don't have the speedrun live, but
just gotta wait for Fiesel to drop out of the race. There he goes.
So the race is starting soon, guys. Hope you're ready for some hype.
Race is starting in 5 seconds. It's gonna be good.
We want a close race that keep us excited till the end. That would be the best.
I'm just still not sure what Darko's doing. I would assume he is gonna do it. I'm pretty sure he said he's just gonna do that the entire tournament. Which
better go with what you're consistent with than going for something you're not sure it will work out. So they are off. I'm pretty sure Fiesel is going to set up them in sync, so we have it in real time.
He's put him in sync.
So the intro stage coming up, nothing much to talk about. Just going fast, trying to maximize your movement. There's no RNG or so everything is based on the skill of the players.
It's probably the most straightforward stage you can get in this game. The only real strat here is maybe, I guess you could talk about the gap jumps and the CFO strat with the boss, which is actually named after him. Used in pretty much all of the games actually, on the Super Nintendo at least.
Yeah, you just try to keep him on the iframe using Buster and full charge Buster, but using the cool time on the iframe to charge your Buster up.
Darko doing it with style, falling all the way to the ground.
I don't know if that's slower or faster or if it doesn't matter, but it's still pretty swag.
It looks cooler.
So the first stage coming up, Sponge. A weather changing stage, if I can say that. You want to have a sunny day, like every day is in your life, but in a game, so you don't get slowed down because of it.
Yeah, usually the worst you can get is just having it rain constantly. Since the rain does push X back, it actually slows him down pretty considerably, actually. And for some reason, Luis has noticed when he's... Yep, Darko is doing Shoryulis.
Oh my! That's gonna be interesting. I was like, he's skipping the something, and I remember what you said. I was like, alright then. The race is up, guy.
So far, good weather for Luis.
This is going to be a true any percent for Darko.
Darko pretty much got the perfect weather all the way through. It's trying to keep my attention split between both of them. Luis, I believe, got one chunk of rain in there, which isn't too bad. And now the boss, which is the first big RNG hit in the game, which thankfully early.
Yeah, you don't want him to get angry, so you have to deal with him quite in a weird way.
The most ideal pattern you want to get is to have him just go straight, like with Darko right there.
Oh.
Darko got the God pattern with him. They both did, actually. Oh, Luis.
Right. Oh no,
Please,
that's
killing me
what
here.
you don't want to see. Dodge is angry, guys.
They both got really, really good patterns on him, but Luis beefed it. When he gets angry like that, he's completely invincible. You can't damage him, and it wastes 10 seconds at least. Possibly more, depending on what he does after.
About it until he stopped being angry.
It's kind of amazing that they both got like pretty much the same, like the best pattern possible on him. It's not something you're usually gonna see very often. Since he really does have a million different things he could do.
And most of the time, if you wait for him to grab the setting and go up, you just gonna end up losing more time.
He's just gonna start hopping around at you, really.
So the next stage coming up,
Pretty bad.
yep, it is. So next stage coming up is Gator. They're gonna grab a Buster upgrade that can optimize a lot of movement in this game. So they're gonna have a longer chain to grab the wall. They are gonna have some extra bonus later on the game, so it's really worth getting it.
This Buster is actually the only difference, I believe, in Shoryu route between Shoryulis any percent and low percent. And the only reason you get it is because the charge chain and the charge burner are amazingly good for movement.
They are.
They speed everything up so much.
So it's gonna be hard to tell until the last section of the game who's ahead, because Darko is going to skip most of the upgrade, the art, the sub tank, so we can go faster. But in the end, the boss rush is gonna lose time on Luis. So this is going to be interesting to see how it ends up in the end.
A bit of buffering for me. Restart that. Oh, don't do that, mouse, please. Oh god.
So Darko is going to Gator now. Let's see if he can pull up the chain combo to avoid Gator going down.
Oh, the first shot looks like.
He missed it. No over.
I think there's a glitch with him, for anyone who doesn't know, where I used to think it was a 3-frame, but it was corrected. It was a 5-frame window where you can hit him in the middle of his invincibility frames with the chain and just constantly hammer on him and loop him.
Yeah, just like Luis just did. Pretty clean fight on his side. Darko is struggling right now, but let's see how it ends up.
I've never seen someone do the chain like that, like dashing into it like that. It's pretty odd. And just like that, the wire sponge goof on Luis's part was completely made up for. More than made up for.
He's taking the lead.
Which I would assume, technically, Darko would catch up very quickly because he isn't getting any items, but like you said earlier, that's once it gets to Shoryu Rush, Luis will start pulling ahead. As far as just like catching up on time goes, if he ends up being behind at all.
Yeah, and a 0 instead of being a 2 two-shot kill is going to take longer.
Oh, yeah.
Same for Sigma, same for wider Sigma. So the Shoryuken is faster, but if you're not confident and you're that much into it without it, I guess Darko is making the right move right now instead of changing his strat at the last minute.
Which I think he's just doing this as like a personal challenge. I'm pretty sure Darko has a pretty solid time as well in like normal inning percent.
I don't know.
Pretty sure he's like a low 34. Which I haven't seen him run like normal inning percent for X2 in a very long time, so he could very easily beat that. Oh, the oh so wonderful stag climb. Luis actually did it really well. Extremely execution heavy level. Just a lot of vertical movement.
And you
Pretty much
try
like
to avoid, and you try to avoid wall kicking instead of jumping from the platform. So that's why you see them doing some double kick on the wall, just to get some extra height to be able to jump off instead of wall kick. Because this is just a few frames faster, but at the end it adds up.
Both are going with, just now realized they were both actually doing stag third.
Yep.
Which I suppose would be even good even in Shoryulis, because get that burner out of the way.
And you want that burner to go faster anyway.
It's just such an invaluable movement option to just get the chain and get the burner as soon as possible. Both of them finishing him off without really any trouble at all.
Yeah, really clean fight on both sides, so.
And now we go to what many would consider the worst boss in this game, Magnus Centipede.
You just want to have the good RNG and being able to pull off the RNG manipulation, so you just get him stuck in one place. But the stage is pretty... I like the execution of this stage overall. The movement with the burner that you just got, and ooh, that was close.
Oh, Luis. I have no idea how he actually didn't die from that.
That
hitbox
like on these blocks is quite odd. So he's lucky on that part, but we're seeing a route divergence from Darko. I don't know why. To be honest, I'm not familiar with the Shoryuken list, so
I'm not either. Don't worry, man.
He should know. I'm pretty sure he knows way better than us what he's doing, so we are gonna trust him on that. I don't think that's a one stage select or anything. So,
well, whatever the Shoryulis route is, it's what the task does, and I mean that's pretty much like you can't argue with that.
Until someone beat the task with another task.
Exactly.
Who knows? Maybe Darko is the next task.
Another close one for Luis. These boxes just want him dead.
So far, it's a pretty nice execution on Darko for Marv stage.
But to see if Luis actually gets the good RNG right off the bat. As you can see, he actually has glitched the tail parts that Centipede has fired out to just infinitely loop around him. And I'm actually not 100% sure how that works, programming-wise, but how you do it is when he shoots that out, you jump over to the right wall and then slide down it as it's closing in on you, and it should just start looping. One chunk of it should just start looping around. And you can just use that to just lock him in place.
And unfortunately for Darko, he missed the one cycle on the first stage. Ooh, he's getting close.
Ooh, yeah, he needs to be careful.
Okay. Ooh, he got it. Alright.
I forgot how hard I always forget how hard Moth actually hits. Like, he takes off like half your health if you don't have any tanks or armor.
And the big point about this is that without the helmet or the armor, your charge burner is going to go gone.
It's
matter
going to go
of
down pretty quick,
charge.
especially in that stage, because it's used quite a bit.
And you need it as a weakness for the boss, so quite scary.
It's probably Louise is probably my favorite stage personally, Crystal Snail. It's just an awesome stage to watch when you have it done.
And there's the skip for the mini boss. Just using the charge burner at a certain point, so you get some iframe and lag frame. So the boss doesn't realize you're going through the room, so you're able to skip it completely.
Darko's actually using a different method to kill the mid boss here.
I mean, that's a one shot.
Yeah, that thing has so many one-shot kills on it.
But when you miss it, you're gonna have such an
Oh
hard
yeah,
time.
if you miss it, it's going to eat away your time like you wouldn't believe.
I mean, at that point, you would rather have an angry sponge than missing one cycle on that sword.
Yeah.
But indeed, he's going for Shuriken-less, so he's not gonna matter with getting any item he doesn't need. This is the first time I'm seeing that as well, so
I've only ever seen it once before, and that was in another Darko race in the tournament. So that was a while ago. That may have been around a month ago. Louis very easily taking care of Snail with the quick kill.
oh, the good RNG on Darko's side on Centipede, that's a good thing.
They're both getting really good RNG. It's very, very odd to see that.
We may get an exciting race at the end. The weapon swap.
Very, very. It's so weird to see the different ways you have to fight these bosses like this. We're not used to seeing people use Silk Shot on him to finish him off like anymore at all. It used to be pretty common to do. You'd get him down to like 4 health and finish him off with 2 shots. But that was before the glitch was discovered, and that fight really was just a complete crapshoot of RNG.
Which is also part of the reason I think that the route changing. Not sure about all that stuff, but let's see how he's fine. Not crashing the bike.
Actually, don't remember. If I remember right, Darko might actually run on the virtual console,
Can't say.
which is he's probably the only person who does that. I might be remembering wrong, but if I remember correctly, oh, what are you doing?
Oh. This is confirming that Darko is a PC user. Yeah, the show you can have a lot of chance of messing up, so it may be one of the reasons Darko is going Shuriken-less, or maybe just for swag. I don't know.
It's probably a little both, honestly. It's definitely a little less stressful knowing that you just have everything to get rid of these bosses right there, not having to worry about getting one hit.
It's a bit scary as well because you don't have any something or
You don't have any
a lot of
any
art.
parts.
So the last final boss overall with Zero and L could turn out really scary. So that's gonna be exciting to watch for sure.
I mean, it is any percent, so that does mean if there's like a heart that's not super far out of the way or a sub-tank that isn't really far out of the way, you can go ahead and just get it.
The Darko is having known of that so far.
But Darko, I don't think is going to get anything other than the Buster. The only thing I can imagine he would probably get is like a sub-tank, which he did not get anywhere. And I mean, the only one that's not out of the way is Bubble Crab, I think.
It's not out of the way, but it's still a bit off the course, so he may just go and
It would take him like it would take him a little bit, maybe 5 or 6 seconds to maybe get that.
Not even sure that would be that much, but I don't know.
It's a little harder to get without the dash boots.
Yeah, but the new strat with this up jump and all, I've switched this that you don't really need the neon to get it. Just like Luis got it. So it's maybe a 2-second time loss, but
yeah, not a whole lot.
Oh, the bike swag to the gate! First time I'm seeing this.
It's always nice to see the bike being used like that.
Gotta go fast. Use the bike. They may be aware who's ahead or not. They're just going for the race. There are no rules saying that they are not allowed to watch the other racer. But sometimes you just don't want to know. You want to play your game
and sometimes your internet might not be able to handle it. Which was I don't believe Luis has terribly good internet, if I'm remembering right. So he might. I would assume nobody would watch a stream while they're streaming because they don't want to go down.
And that may just distract them at some point.
I think they're both about the same, actually. They're both on their last Maverick, I believe.
Yep, they are.
Almost perfectly tied. Probably about 2 or 3 seconds apart.
I think Bubble is a bit faster than Morph though, since Luis is going to take some detour to grab some extra
Crab
item.
stage is very short. Like, if you know exactly what to do. Because the stage usually accounts for, like, it feels like this stage was designed around having that fish there, lagging it and slowing it down, but if you kill it immediately, it's pretty much just like, you just zip through the stage, like, instantly.
I have gone some experimentation about not killing the fish sometimes just because I was messing up and the stage becomes so horrible. You don't want to do that ever because everything becomes so slow. You're in slow motion, not because you want it.
On screen, it's pretty much setting your SNES on fire. It's struggling so hard to keep it going. Like Darko is actually.
Yeah, he's gonna be ahead, but like we say, the Shurikenless could be hitting him back on the boss rush. He's gonna keep gaining some time since he's not gonna go for the Shuriken capsule, but he's gonna have to do all the fight with weaknesses instead of just going all out.
It's pretty much going to be more or less neck and neck until they get up to the Shoryu capsule. And then after that, Luis will start catching up quite a bit. Unless something catastrophic happens. But let's hope nothing happens.
Hey, the commissary curse.
I shouldn't have opened my mouth, damn it.
I mean, we have seen some Shoryuken run end up with using weakness against the last section of the game. So at that point, that could help Darko to gain an advantage at that point.
This run really doesn't have any kind of downtime in it as far as just run killing things and it happen. Pretty much right up until the very last boss. I think Wireframe's the only bit of downtime you have, and I mean, that's the last boss, so. Although for Darko, Wireframe is probably the most dangerous part of the run since
low HP, low armor.
A little dangerous. This is definitely a very, very dangerous fight now that I think about it. Violin with no...
He has a weakness, so if he just released it and hugged the wall on the right, he's gonna be out of range from
There's still the
Bion.
possibility, though, where he could just swing it behind him and smack him, but he doesn't tend to do that very
Oh.
much.
No, he's fine.
And that fight in low percent is an absolute nightmare for everyone.
Yeah, I remember watching Trogdor run had GDQ, and that fight is scary.
Yeah, that's probably one of the most dangerous fights in the game in low percent. Outside of maybe like Sigma. Which is really, really, like, ironic, really, just because any other category, you just put out charged weapon, stand next to him, don't move.
So
He
coming
pretty much
up,
just kills himself.
yep, and coming up is the elevator skip on Darko's side.
I don't believe... Actually, yeah, I think Darko does do the skip somehow.
I mean, he has to.
Yeah, he does it. That's very... Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's a way I never saw. That was scary, damn. You missed it, but no, that is better than trying for it and missing it.
I like his
Holy my.
jittering there. Keeping himself up on the water like that.
That movement was amazing, though. I
Yeah,
never
that
saw
was-
anyone going over that.
I've
moving
never
platform.
seen that. That's new to me. Wow. That's...
That was impressive.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
There's a skip coming up on Louis' side as well.
Let's see, the normal any percent elevator skip.
Yeah, the one we're used to see. And
And
no
he-
problem there. He got it.
Very good little damage boost off the fire there too. Not quite getting the double hits.
Yeah, Dargo's trying to get the double hit from...
Very careful with this boss.
Oh, he's starting to get on low HP.
He does about 4 damage per shot on the little orbs without armor, and without any health, he'll
There,
get rid of it.
there's the double. Oh no! Darko!
Louise is actually using the damage boost strat for a double hit there.
That's unfortunate. And with that, Louise is taking the lead.
Still not over yet. He could still very much catch up if something bad happens to Louise, but that's not a good death to have.
Yeah, he's just losing the lead he had so far. The Shuriken-less could come back to hit him. For that reason now. It's not over yet, but
That death hurts quite a bit, especially since it was on the very last hit of the boss.
yeah, he was
spent-
switching to
He had already
Flame
spent the
Burner
time
to
fighting
do
him.
what he just did, to finish him off. So a lot of neon jump coming up on that stage.
Louise opting to go top route to get the Shoryu. Done perfectly, I think it is 1 second faster than bottom route.
1 second and 1 second and a half, something like that. Yeah, but
It's somewhere around there, but it's also extremely dangerous.
exactly. And
If it wasn't obvious, there's about 5 million spikes all over everything.
and it's faster only if you execute perfectly well. So
Yeah.
a lot of people are going bottom route so they can do a neon jump.
It's much, much safer. There's still spikes there, but you're not in danger of just completely dying at every possible moment.
Louis finishing up with the shuriken that we just get.
Darko does have the privilege of being able to just go ahead and do damage boost, like through damage boosting through enemies, which you can't do once you get the Shoryu, because you do have to have full health to use it.
So
Here's
we
a
are
fight you don't see often.
Yeah, and we are having
Agile,
the
Fortress
feat.
Agile with a weakness.
Yeah, that's quite the feat. We are not gonna be able to see that quite often. There's a lot that can happen on that. You don't want to get crushed. And
Darko made very quick work of him.
yeah, that was a nice fight, considering that was shuriken-less. Louis starting the shuriken rush with a nice fight on Centipede, getting a one shot on him.
Two big things that matter in Shoryu Rush are Gator and Snail, mostly Gator.
And still consider getting one shot on all of them.
The Gator Shoryu is generally speaking the one you'll see missed the most.
And Snail.
Granny strats on it like I do, but you know.
Yeah. Snail is based on RNG, so there's a lot that can happen on that. Darko is getting into the shuriken-less rush, using weakness against each boss. As you can see, Swag there is pretty free with bubble. Just jump, shoot, jump, shot.
Whoa, what happened there? He didn't actually kill him on the first one. Speaking of Snail, Tiki actually did come up with a little. It's a little bit slower, but it's
the double Shoryu
and Snafer. That's a good word. Safer.
Is that the double Shoryu that you do?
I forget exactly what it is.
I think that's.
It's.
I saw
something
Tokyo
to do
practice it as well. He was trying to get like one Shoryuken, and then when you touch the floor, you can do the input while you're falling.
You have like one or two frames.
Another Shoryuken
input, you can
right
actually
away.
do it again. But that's like, I mean, that's frame perfect. Like that's not easy to do. But he found a way.
And we are seeing the animation. Sorry, Sponge. When you kill him with his weakness, you split it in half. That's not something you're gonna see every day, guys.
When you hit Snail with a lemon, he actually he starts shooting at you, and Tiki found out a little strat to manipulate him into doing that, so he can just hit him with a lemon, dash under a shot, and just shorty him easily. Instead of having to deal with the RNG of him going in a shell before you get to him. It's like a second or so faster. Ooh, there's the Gator Shoryu. And that's why everybody hates it.
And oh no.
That's not good. He had a little sub-tank.
Oh,
there.
you got it. He should have one sub-tank, so he's gonna be fine probably for the rest of the game. If everything turns out to go well for him.
I would assume he would still get like a little bit of, like maybe one or two health pickups just to make sure if he accidentally bonks on Snail or something. Yeah, he's getting at least one or two.
Wise choice.
Sorry.
Oh, Darko missing again on one cycle.
He is.
Phase.
He's not having a good day with Moth.
Still a really clean fight.
Basically inside of Moth at that point. Surprised he actually didn't take damage there. It looked like he was going to.
He was really close with it.
So he's having a little bit of trouble getting into Snail's capsule there.
That's happened. So this is probably the last fight for Louis. We are gonna see what kind of RNG happen. You can one-shot him, but if he goes into spinning mode early...
Yeah, it looks like he's just gonna YOLO it.
Yep.
And he gets it.
The yellow can be a 50-50 chance, I think. Something close to that. So if Snail was to go into his shell and go up, you're gonna miss the Shoryuken on him. But if he's not doing that, you can pretty much get a one-hit kill if you're close enough.
There is the chance, if he goes into a shell and goes up into the air, there is a chance he could use his desperation attack immediately. Which just, it's an immediate slow-mo on everything. It's horrible. It's one of those things that'll make you question the game designers.
Yeah, backward for the category, it's any percent. So sure, you can is faster to get since you get all the heart, all the sub tank, all the armor upgrade to get it. Because when you get at the last part of the game, you are able to do a quick work of all the bosses you have to refight, like Luis did. But Darko is going for another strategy of not getting any upgrade and using weakness instead. But they are both any percent because Louise to get 100% will need to get a zero part by fighting extra bosses that you don't want to have to fight.
They're all horrible and they're all way out of the way in the levels. You just don't want to deal with them.
Louise making quick work of zero, really well done.
He gets the 2 Shoryus here. He's looking at a pretty solid 33 time.
Yeah, with one something left.
Which,
Louis
yeah,
should
even
have
if
it.
it's bad RNG on Wolverine here. He
You can
still
do a
has
bunch of
a
stuff.
chance. But
You don't
he
want
can
to
do.
see pink.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yep.
Wolverine, he can do a lot of stuff to just completely screw you over. He can either just keep rushing at you over and over and over again, he can stand in place and fire out pink sparks. Which the sparks is probably what you want to happen, they're much easier to dodge. Very solid time from Louise.
Yeah, well done. GG.
Oh, there's Snail's special move right there on Darko's screen. You can actually see the waviness.
Yeah, we are able to witness
out,
it,
bro.
but we are not able to see what's.
He got him right as he fired it. It's for the best.
You don't want that to happen. In case of anyone wondering what is that special move, it's slow everything down. So you're gonna move at half the speed and lag.
That's
over
just
that.
another example of Capcom showing off their fancy new chip they put inside the cartridges.
Exactly.
That's the only reason it's there. Is to just show off their tech. And nowadays it's just annoying.
Yeah, because in the refight, I believe that every boss can use, maybe not every boss, but can use their special move.
Yeah,
Right off the bat.
Every boss right off the bat can use their desperation attack in those refights.
I don't know. What about Sponge? I never saw him.
Sponge,
getting
yeah, you're right. Sponge actually cannot. That would suck. It's like the
Angry
moment he
Sponge in the
spawns in,
refight.
he immediately gets angry. Like, come on.
So let's see on darker side how it goes for Zero using the weakness. You can actually manipulate him to make him.
Actually, if you notice,
As
he's
you're
not
saying.
hitting him with the direct shot. He's actually doing damage with the little trail that it creates on the bottom.
Yep.
The green shot is actually eating his big shot there.
Yeah, that's a really clean fight. No damage and pretty clean, quick work of Zero's.
Zero. There's not really any RNG with him, as far as I know. He's pretty much just like you can loop him.
Yeah, he's gonna act on the way you're moving. If you go to the wall, he's gonna dash, hit the ground to make some projectile to hit you. So if you know what you're doing,
based off of the distance you are away from him,
yeah, man, you're gonna be able to manipulate him to do what you want him to do.
you pretty much just loop him.
Wolverine there on the other side, you have to be quick.
Very careful with this boss. Case in point.
It's not that hard to predict, but once you know what he's gonna do, you have to be quick to react. Or he's getting some really bad pattern there.
What is going on with
Oh
this
my
pattern?
god. We have to give it to Darko there. Having what was that, like 4, 5 straight back-to-back pink ball? That's a really
It was 4
bad
or 5. It was a lot.
that was a really bad RNG to deal with because he was really close to him.
Well, I mean, if you want to get technical about it, that's probably, if you know how to dodge them, that's probably the best pattern you want. Because he's just standing in place, you just keep on hammering on him. But it is really dangerous because if you start taking damage,
And the pink ball are deadly.
you got a little health there.
That's a good thing. He's gonna need that.
Darko seems to know exactly how to manipulate this boss's movement.
Yeah, he's doing pretty well. Considering that there's a lot of lag. Ooh.
Very careful. He can get health drops from the enemy Sigma's firing out right now, but he does need to be very careful with Sigma, especially on the laser attack there.
Yeah, that was a wise move. Taking a hit from the head
Ooh, big health.
instead of taking a hit from the laser was just saved him. That would have killed him.
If you have a choice, just bonk into Sigma.
Yeah, just bonk the head. Because the beam is going to do so much damage that it could just kill you right off. We already know what's happening.
It does a pretty good amount of damage. I think it's like 6 HP.
And that's it for Darko.
37-37 with no Shoryu.
That's amazing. GG, both of the runners. If you're not already, follow them. They did a really nice job so far.
Absolutely follow both of them. Darko just runs every game in existence, so I don't even know what he's usually streaming right now. And I know Luis is actually currently doing world record attempts for X2.
I mean, this is the only one he's missing on the Super Nintendos.
Oh, well, yeah, it is. He's pretty much dominant in X3 with not really any competition right now.
Yeah, well, X3, I love the game. Don't take me wrong, but this game is quite hard. If you put it aside from X1, X1 is just like having a little cocktail at a fancy party or something, and X3 is like you're taking 12 shots in a row.
That actually, speedrunning wise, I would call X2 much harder. Getting a 32 in X2 is probably the hardest goal you can set for yourself as far as the SNES games are concerned.
Well, I mean, the world record is not that far from a 33.
Not terribly, but it's more than you would think possible. 32.46 is pretty low as far as this game goes.
Yeah, and Luis actually, I saw in the chat, has a 32.51 right now, so he's like 5 seconds behind the world record. So that's my prediction. It's not gonna take so long before he managed to grab that one as well.
I wouldn't be surprised if at some point Luis actually gets a 32.3x. That's definitely possible, but oh boy, that would have to be like a perfect run.
Yeah, and that's RNG. Yeah,
it's
most of it. Yeah, like what X1. I remember watching Luis' world record run, and good RNG all over the place. There were some time to save, like people are.
Some time to save, but that run would be pretty rough to beat. Not that people aren't trying. There are definitely people trying to go for 34 in X1 100%.
Yeah.
Which is possible, but that's what the limit of that game is 34 5x.
Yeah, Caleb Hart has the record right now with a 32.46 on X2. So, really a nice job on both runner. Luis having a 33, Darko at 37 with Shuriken-ness. I mean, that's better than my time.
That's better than mine, too.
That was pretty amazing, and on top of that, that's a 37-37.
He did it Shoryulis and beat both of our times with a death.
Yeah, that's right. We have to remember that. That was
pretty bad.
That would have been a 35.
He pretty much had to fight Sergei's completely twice because he died on the very last hit.
Yep. So he was the whole fight behind. So that would have been probably a 35. So that's amazing.
Probably a low 36 into a 35 around that area.
Yeah, Warriors, get that 35. That 34, sorry. We're waiting for it. So, yeah, that was a pretty nice race. Do you know who's facing Luis in the next round?
I would have to check the brackets.
I don't have it open and my PC is not really first class, so I'm not sure I can even check right now without lagging the stream.
Take a look right here. And looks like Louise is going on to face Just Incredible.
Ooh, that
That's
will
gonna
be
be a good
an
one.
interesting matchup.
That will be a very, very good one.
Yeah, what's the best time so far for Justin in this tournament?
I believe he has like a low 32, around a 30 or 33.
Low 33, yeah.
If he had a low 32, I would start questioning things.
Yeah, same on my side. So that just means that Louise and Justin are pretty much on par on this. So this is going to this could be the upset of this tournament.
I believe they both have similar best times, both 33.2x. One of them might have a 33.1x, but I'm
that will
100% sure.
I'm looking forward for that race.
That's going to be a very good race.
It's going to be, and who knows, that could upset everyone's prediction at some point, or it could turn out into a 1 second or 2.
I'm not sure if Trogdor and Fatso had their race yet.
I would not know.
Which, oh, actually, I could just check the schedule. I'd be blanked out if they did. No, they did not. So the next match will probably be Trogdor and Fatso, and then Louise and Justin. Who knows going to win between them? They all have very similar
Yeah, they are
times,
pretty
actually.
similar as well. So that's pretty much it for tonight, I think, for X2 tournament. I don't know if there's some randomizer coming up or any other tournament. Do you have the schedule so far? Pizzle is saying in the chat that on Speedrun Lives and on Speed Gaming 2, Link to the Past randomizer is going on. If you haven't checked that up so far, you have to.
Definitely go watch that.
This is amazing. That's what I'm gonna do after that. This is getting a lot of good comment from the public, and it's just amazing how the race can turn up one way or another. It's not straightforward. You're going all the way around. You want to get the item you need, but you never really know what's gonna happen. So you keep on the edge of your chair and being like, "Oh, what's coming next?" You don't know. So
minutes, that would be.
And yeah,
10 p.m. Eastern.
Yep.
Banjo-Kazooie on this channel.
Pretty interesting as well. I haven't watched one, but I wanted to play that 100%, but I didn't have the chance so far. So, on my side, that's it for today. So, thanks, Lazaki, on the commentary.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, what? So that pretty much is it on my side. Thanks Fizzle as well for bringing out so many amazing tournaments on this channel.
And thanks to Imdoys for commentating with me, because I don't want to do this stuff alone, man.
No, you don't want to commentate alone. It's so fun to be able to challenge the other one with you. Just like straightforward and
it's a little awkward to do it alone.
Yeah, I will not do it alone on my side, so that's why I joined you. So thanks for commentating and with me as well, and maybe next time I'm gonna be able to commentate as well. So I think we're gonna be probably hosting Speed Gaming 2 for some randomizer. Looking forward to see you all there. See ya.
Woo!